Good morning and welcome to the Women's Nest. This is probably going to premiere on Sunday, but it is Saturday morning and it is morning. I usually lie to you all and say good morning when it's not actually morning time. But it's working for me, so I hope it's working for you. Let's see. So today is just it's really Saturday, but it's just kind of the Sunday session, long form stuff. Some things that I've talked about with other people throughout the week, um, which I write down and try to get ideas of things to speak of. So I'm right now I'm looking at my larger monitor. Now I'm looking at the computer, my laptop. So you're just going to have to deal with both. Let's see. So you like my mug? Ryan got it for me when he went on an amazing road motorcycle trip. It's Dr. Bob's home. And funny is that it says, I drank at Dr. Bob's house, or I drank at Dr. Bob's. It's a National Historic Landmark. And if you know, you know, Dr. Bob. So I like drinking out of that every weekend. It's my reminder. All right. So some things, gosh, I have like lists everywhere. I think I showed you guys my toddler shoes last week. Oh, did I tell you guys this one? So I don't know about you, but I have multiple chapsticks in different locations because I always need a chapstick ready. So, I have the work desk chapstick, which ran out about a month ago. I did have a backup there. Megan inadvertently ordered like 12 dozen. So she gave me a couple. It's like Dr. Bonner's, I think. It's really good. It's like all natural, organic. Like who the hell am I? Organic lady. Who uses organic stuff? I'm not 100% organic now, but like it's a big part of my life. Effing weird. Uh Hello, little girl. And so work chapstick squared away, all good. Then the car chapstick, right? That ran out, so I got a new chapstick for the car. And I have the wallet chapstick. And somehow one of the chapsticks got mixed up. And I lost a chapstick. And when I did laundry, I washed and dried chapstick. Therefore, I lost like 4 t-shirts. So I'm limited on my work shirts now. So I'm waiting for some new work shirts because I screwed up. And chapstick makes greasy stains when you wash and dry them with your laundry. Just so you know. So check those pockets. If today's laundry day, check your pockets. So yeah, that was my chapstick story. So as we age, like there's some things I've said this before, and if you're in my group of people, I went into menopause very early, so my body internally and some external stuff doesn't match my actual age number. I'm 43 with the insides of a 63-year-old. So it's fun. Yay, fun. But with that, I've gained some like irrational fears. So, we have Ring cameras around the house on the outside. About 6 months ago, I was like, oh, I think I'm balded. So it's an irrational. Well, is it irrational? Or is it just a fear that I have? Because it could happen. But I'm like, oh, yeah, thinning. I'm afraid I'm going to be bald by the time I'm 50. Scares me. I don't know why, because like hair does not define who I am. I've never been a person who uh, glams up. Like, I don't even put makeup on for this thing because it's not what you see, it's what you hear. That's the envisionment of this channel. So I don't know why I'm so afraid of going bald, but it's an irrational fear. There's a couple of other ones. Do you guys have an irrational fear? If you do, totally put it in the comments if you're comfortable. If you're comfortable, right? Uh, this dog is going to drive me nuts today. Stop. Go lay down. Go lay down. She does listen pretty well, though. She's kind of defying it, but she's getting her way to going. Lay down. Lay down, please. She's stubborn like me. Okay, so yes, if you're comfortable, what are some of your irrational fears? Mine is going bald. Yep. And can we talk about how I'm 43 and I get pimples? Like, what is up with that? Isn't that like teenager stuff? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, like after children, before children, when your hormones are like all wild and crazy. Like, I don't have any hormones left. They don't exist anymore. Why? Why does this happen? Uh, yep. So there's that. Um, but I'm on my new skin routine. And no, not my new skin routine is why I have blemishes. Such a nice word for saying pimples. Um, why I have blemishes these days. No, no, been happening for years. But my new skin routine, because my mom, got me some really awesome stuff for Christmas for my mature skin. And, my FU line is getting a little less noticeable. So that's cool. That's real cool. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Mom. Shout out to you. Um, okay. So some like kind of heavy stuff. And I totally would love to engage with others on this. So I was talking to someone last week or the week before. I've written this down for like each week and I just haven't gotten to it, but I really want to make sure I get to it. Move this a little closer. So modern customs, or like just customs in general. So her and her husband had their first child prior to marriage. And then they got married. And then they had additional children. And society as a whole, like, this is their perspective, their story. So I'm not going to say everyone, right? So this is just what I've heard from them. She said that people assumed that their first child wasn't her husband's. And what gets us to that point? Like, who decided that that's instantly what we think of, right? Like, oh, you had a child, then you got married and you had more. Like, that's a custom that we made an assumption out of. And I can't deny that I wouldn't have made that assumption as well. So, but I know this person, so she tells me this story, and I'm like, wow, that's sad, right? What caused that? Like, why do people instantly assume that because you had one child, then you got married, and then you had more children, and they think that's not the kid's father? Kind of effed up, right? So, do you guys have any other situation stories like that are a societal, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know what I'm saying, right? I hope you know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling. Okay. Um, Yeah, so, like, what are some societal assumptions? So, my mouse I'm just not good with technology lately, so let me just type this in. Societal, let's see. It's not doing it for me. Oh. So assumptions are foundational, often unquestioned beliefs underlying how individuals are to behave, think, and function within a society. These assumptions suggest that human behavior is not solely innate, but shaped by interaction, culture, and social structures. That's what it is. So social structures, maybe that's more what I'm looking for. So, like, what social structure made people think that that's how her life was? And that kind of dovetails into the next thing is another societal norm is women changing their last names when they get married. And why is it burdensome to the woman? These are my beliefs. You may think differently, and that's awesome. Like, that's part of the community is we may not agree with everything that is said, but we are willing to listen to how other people are saying. So, how does again, why is it burdensome for the woman on marriage other than, that's just how it's always been done? And why I have to go to Social Security and change my last name, why I have to go to the banks and change my last names, why I have to go to my credit card companies and change my last name, my employer, I have to change my last name, and possibly my email, right? Why is my identity willing to be stripped and not a joint effort? Because they say, as a society, marriage is a joint venture. Well, if it's a joint venture, then why is it on me to change my name and strip my identity? And I think we can go back to history books if you want, and we can see where that comes to play, where that, um, and not that long ago history. Not long ago, women couldn't get credit cards. And if you're the younger generation, like, so I didn't know this, like, this is part of this community, right? So I didn't know this because my mother was in a generation where that wasn't the case. But my grandmother, so some people's moms have experienced this. They had to get married to get a credit card. They had no independent wealth without a man's approval. So, like, I get why women have to change their last name, but we're not in that society anymore. So, I'm not like some women grow up, and I was talking to Megan about this earlier this week. Um, some females grow up, and that's all they dream of is their wedding day. Never dreamed that way. And in part, I think that's because my mother was an example to me that, like, you can do things on your own. You don't need someone's help. Now, that can also go to the extreme, and I am my mother's child, so I think her drive to prove to society that she could do it, and I'm going to use my own, right? I used that, and in turn, I kind of hurt myself sometimes because I didn't need any help, and I'm learning that help is okay. But because I learned that from her, I was able to not have that as a thought in my mind that I needed to get married. And hold on, I hear someone and it's losing my train of thought. Oh, he left. He must have grabbed a snack because he's not supposed to be eating in the bedroom. But, if I'm out here, he doesn't want to bother me. So to me, marriage was never something that I wanted to attain in life. It wasn't a goal. So I have a very different view on marriage than other people. And to this day, like, I don't need to get married. Like, many people think that Ryan and I are married. And after a year of knowing these people, we stopped correcting them. So people will be like, oh, where's your wife? Oh, she's at home. Where's your husband? And, if I'm in a feisty mood, I'm like, there ain't no ring. I don't know what husband you're talking about. But the truth is, like, I don't need a piece of paper to tell me my relationship status. But with that being said, I would get married. And the only reason why I would get married, or one of the few reasons I would get married, I mean, I guess there is a level, I don't know. Is there really a level of commitment with marriage? Like, if you're in a relationship and you're committed to it, what does a marriage have to do with it? But I will say, for insurance and tax purposes, I would get married. So currently, I have a family plan on my health insurance, right? I pay the family plan. Ryan pays an individual plan. For all intents and purposes, we live together. We share finances together. We do have some, we share finances and we don't share finances. There's some things that he pays, I pay, like personally, right? His motorcycles are his motorcycles. My car, my motorcycle is my bill, but as a family unit, we split a lot of those bills. So, but it makes no sense, right? Like, why are you spending $400 a month on health insurance and I'm spending $700 a month on health insurance? Let's save the $400 a month and, I don't know, spend it wisely. And then, obviously tax purposes. We both have adult children, so no more dependents. And last year, I skated by like getting, I don't know, like $17 back. But now he no longer has any dependents either. And, ooh, right? There's all adults, according to the IRS, that live here. So how do I, that's another reason why. And not going to get into like those types of finances as far as whatever. Shush, you're fine. You're fine, dog. So for me, it would be unduly burdensome. Excuse me, guys. Dog's going to go out. Oh, I forgot. This mouse works sometimes, doesn't work sometimes. So hold on. Okay. I'm back. Almost pushed the wrong button. Oh, now my mouse is working. That's so weird. Good. All right. So, yeah, changing our last names. It's kind of bullshit. Try not to swear on this channel, but it's kind of bullshit. Oh, so this other one, and I'm going to start crossing these off so I don't repeat them during other episodes. So, modern colors. Oh, and seriously, does anything want to work for me today? That pen's trash. Let's go to the other pen. Do all my pen? Sir, what is up with today? That pen not working. Whew. That and 1,000. See, I just took a deep breath because is it really something to stress about? Women changing last names. Okay. So, um, this one's pretty funny. My I was raised by a single mother. My parents were not married, never were. And I love both my parents very much with what each one was capable of providing when they um, provided, right? And I'm not going to air any of that out because it's not fair. Um, I love my mom. And I think a lot of who I am today is obviously shaped by the woman that raised me. And I'll tell you, I used to go around. So I have my mother's last name. And maybe that's why I'm so strong willed against not changing my last name. But I found out what the word bastard was. It's a child born out of wedlock. So I used to go around and say, I'm a bastard child. I'm a bastard child. But now looking back, hold on. Hold please. I'm coming, doggy. Okay. I'm back. There we go. So I used to say, I'm a bastard child. I'm a bastard child. And looking back, I think I did that so I could take the sting away because I was born in 82. I was born in 82 and single parenting was not a common thing. I remember my mom saying, like, where she worked, she would get so mad because it would either be a individual plan or a family plan. And I want to say like halfway through growing up, so like 12, 13, 14, they changed it because more people were becoming single parents and it was like individual plus one. And that's honestly the life that I live lived for a long time was the single plus one. So anyways, back to the bastard thing. So I would always say I'm a bastard child. And I think it was to, looking back, take the sting away because you can't make me feel a certain way. You can't make my mom be a certain person if I identify it first. So that to me is one of those things that did that carry me to where I am now with, like I said, losing my identity. I don't want to lose my last name because it's there's history behind that. There's there's more than just a name. Um, a woman who I used to work for, she was a business owner and she got married while she was the business owner and everyone knew her as, first name, last name. And when she got married, I remember it being kind of a big deal because woman business owner, first of all, right? So this was like early 2000s. So again, I guess I've surrounded myself with strong women. I just never realized how strong a lot of these women were. That with that, if she changed her last name, she would be relinquishing some of her power to her husband and not proving that she did it on her own. And I felt that way for a long time with this house because I really my success of being a single parent homeowner was a title that I wore. While that situation is a badge of honor, it's not who I am. It's a part of who I am, but it's not entirely who I am. So, how do you guys feel about that? Are you a traditional customs person who says, you know what, that's a tradition? Or are you a go against the grain? See how that feels. Again, for me, it's a lot of it is, why is the burden put on me? I think as women, we have so much burden put on us as individuals, as a society, within group settings, within our home, outside our home, that why would we want to intentionally add a burden? And some people may not consider it a burden. I do. Do you consider it a burden? So, another food for thought. So, I can cross off the word bastard. So, I also have January 7th reading to redo because it obviously meant something. Ooh, this one. Yes, 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 yes. So, on January 7th, the reading, I'm going to tell you, go back and listen. Get that subscriber or that view count up. Help a girl out. It's not for anything, really. But hopefully it's to send it along. If you find that message touched you, or it may touch someone else, not like touch, um, forward it to them. It may make their day. They may be having a bad day and you forward in that and they watching half of it, none of it. I don't know. It could change their whole day. It's not my job to find out what's going to change someone's day. It's my job just to send them out. So on January 7th, it said, like, we are giving birth to ourselves. Let's be midwives to one another through this difficult yet exhilarating process. So, like, what's the process? Life. Life. I have moms and non-mom friends in all different age groups. Good majority of them are obviously around my age, so we're in our 40s or so. Some have children my child's age, some have younger children. But let's be midwives to one another through this difficult yet exhilarating process. What's the process? Living life. Life. It's tough. Can't do it alone. Need someone. And then I thought about it, like, midwives. They don't do, they don't, they help you along the way of the process, right? Midwives, doulas, they help you. They don't do it for you. And a couple of years ago, I had to say to someone, I've been walking for you. I can no longer walk for you, but I will walk beside you. That's what I'm talking about. Let's walk beside each other to help make the process a little easier. What's the process? I don't know. Are you going through a death? Are you going through a divorce? Are you going through a marriage? Are you having children? Are you in financial ruin? Have someone walk beside you. Help carry you through those hills, in those valleys. They can't walk for you, but they will walk with you. Hold each other's hands, make it a little more bearable, because the world today is not easy. And it's not easy for us women. We have a lot of stuff we have to carry. I don't know about you, but I feel like my house would fall apart without me. I don't know how true that is, but it's true in my mind. And then the next line is, helping each other survive the trauma of our lives strengthens us. Let's see. Having the courage to take advantage of opportunities transform us. Where do we want to take our lives? Do you want, if your life is shitty right now. I'm just going to say it. You think your life sucks. What do you want to change? You want to get out of the crappy apartment you're living in? What if you had someone to walk with you? You know? I'm actually, oh, that just sparked this. So when I was looking for a house, I saw 2 houses in one day, one being this one. And my girlfriend Brianna went with me because we were living with her and her husband at the time. And I really liked the other house. It needed work. I think it was like $20,000 more. It was, I'm not saying much bigger, but well, it was like 500 more square feet. It needed some more work. It did have like 1.5 bathrooms, but the half bathroom was needed to be done. Like there was nothing other than plumbing and whatnot there. And then we came to this one. And I liked it. It has a lot of character. It's an older house. And I liked it. And I said, yeah, but I think I like the other one more. And she's like, but look at the yard. Danielle, look at the yard. And it technically has 2 yards. We say the regular yard and then the side yard. And at the time, my son was playing baseball and very active. And I ended up buying this house. And I just think back, like, she was walking beside me during that journey. And thank goodness I had someone. I was able, I got this house. And this house has been such a beautiful home. It's been beautiful in my heart. Um, you know, but it's been my home. And it wasn't just a house. But I was able to go through that process with someone because I had someone to walk beside me. So, like, sounds weird, but I had midwives in my life to help birth different parts of my life. So it goes on to say, the counsel of our friends can guide us, but which doors we open is up to us. Perfect example. The one I just said. Most of us experience the pain of our lives alone. Revealing to someone what else our lives were like was far too scary. How could they possibly like or accept us if they knew who we really were? Right? Like, would someone be okay with me telling them, like, the dirty, nasty stuff I've done? The not decent human being that I am today? And whether that's therapy, right? Because that's having someone walk with you, not for you. Maybe having this community. I'm not that important, but the community at large, what I hope to see happen here, your neighbors, your coworkers, and some people have different views of that. I've had jobs where I would not build a community with my coworkers by any means. But I'm fortunate today that I have a community in my workplace. And I know not everyone has that. So and I get pretty raw and real and with my coworkers. Our decision to get help and thus give help is giving every one of us a new life we deserve. So finally, it says, my rebirth gives me opportunities to share my good fortune with others. I will be attentive to everyone today. So for me, that's a fine line, right? My rebirth, which sure, this is my rebirth. It's where I am today. Took well over 2 years to create, and I'm not going to still be the same person I am in another 2 years. But I can feel a shift in who I am within the past year. So sharing my good fortune, again, that doesn't mean being grandiose and look at me and my life is awesome, because it's not true. There's plenty of things that are not okay in my life, but I share them with my sponsor. She knows all about me, all about me. I share them with some close friends, people who also follow a 12-step program. So sharing it and not being grandiose is that fine line of I don't want to be on a seesaw, right? I want to be able to be level on that. But I will be attentive to everyone today. Everyone has something to offer. The snack monster is out again. But that's what I have today. Um, I feel like my list keeps growing. Oh, I get to cross off January 7th reading. So I do want to, I won't do any Sunday sessions next week, but I do want to have one whole one. And I'm sorry if I'm going to alienate some people, but talk about things that are specific to being a mom. So there were things like postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. There's a case locally in Massachusetts. If you're familiar with it, great. If you're not, it's called the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. Originally started as a custody battle, I'll say. If you're interested in it, I will send you a link to someone who I think really broke down the case very neutrally. But some of that, or I should say, the crux of that case comes down to postpartum depression. There's another case that is expected to go to trial, I believe, this summer in Massachusetts, and that is a postpartum psychosis case. I did suffer from postpartum depression. I was not aware of what it was, and I think I mentioned before that I'd had my son, so I think that was, obviously a big hormonal shift. Naturally, hereditarily, there is depression tendencies in my DNA. And then I lost 3 important people in my life within a 1.5 2 year time span. So I was not okay. So I want to talk about that. But also another thing I wanted to talk about was like losing your mom identity. Also caregiver burnout. So I'm thinking that those 3 things could be just one whole session. I don't know. What are these called? Podcasts, vlogs. I don't know. I don't do this. I was talking to someone last night and they were like, that's so awesome. That's so great of you. I can't believe you're doing that. And I said, I don't care if people are like, oh, your house is messy. Oh, you're not stage ready. My given Fs for that are broken. If you don't like what you hear, sorry. If you don't like what you see, sorry. I don't need that type of viewership or connection. And that's the whole point, connection. So I think my next long form Sunday session will be the mom stuff. And how I was in the Bad Moms Club. I heard that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, and they said not in a good way, like really, I was a bad mom. But also to like remove that baggage, right? It's a good remember when, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Plus, I have to go potty because I've had way too much water and coffee. So I'm going to end this one. As always, hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Talk soon.